Yom Tov, good day. This is Stephen Bruck with Messianic Moment Ministries, and I welcome you. Well, today is the 25th of June, 2019, and I am back from spending a week in Ireland, having been on a bus with 27 other family members, driving nearly 1,000 miles in 6 days, staying at 5 different hotels, and spending a total of 16 hours on planes. Boy, not to mention, I don't even want to look at the charge card bill when it comes in. I don't even want to know. So, as we traveled, though, we saw many farms, beautiful green pastures, and even the mountains, of which there are many, are green. There are cows and sheep and the occasional horse. I'll tell you, the amount of peaceful scenery is enough to lower your blood pressure. Yet, underneath this bucolic scene is a roiling cauldron of hatred and distrust, left over from the bad feelings of what our guide called the troubled times, which was when the Northern Irelanders, or the Protestants, and the Republic of Ireland people, the Catholics, were at war with each other. And it was a war. In fact, it has been officially declared as a war. Now, our guide, whose name was Mert, was from the Republic of Ireland, and he was Catholic. Yet he was very fair, actually, in his narrative of the atrocities that both sides caused. Now, the issue was not originally a religious one, but was in fact a political separation. You see, the English had taken possessions of lands that had Irish living on them. And when that happened, the British landowners made the Irish people their slaves, basically, forcing them to pay taxes, which paid the tax the landowners had to pay to the crown. Now, this tax was based on how many people were living on the land. So when things got tough, such as during times of famine, the landowners would evict the people and destroy the houses so that they didn't have to pay tax on them. In the meanwhile, with no house, land, or source of income, the people being evicted would starve to death. The religious issue came about because the British landowners had separated from the Church of Rome, while the indigenous Irish, the tenant farmers, had not. The British were Protestant and the Irish were Catholic. This resulted in the Irish population being split into the Loyalists, which were the Protestant Irish, the Irish who had converted, and the existing Catholic Irish who didn't convert. In other words, the real problem was the geopolitical separation of landowners and tenant farmers, but it was hidden under the guise of religious persecution by Protestants against Catholics. Everyone knew that it was really British rule in Ireland that was the root of this evil, but the thing that people focused on was Protestant against Catholic. When I thought about this, I realized that the end times will be the same thing, but the other way around. You see, in Ireland, politics was the cause, but religion was what people focused on. In the Acharit HaYamin, the end days, the enemy of God will be fighting a religious battle, but will have people focus on the politics. I believe the Antichrist will rise from the political turmoil that we are seeing today. Persecution and civil lawlessness will give him, or maybe her, the fodder on which to build a political platform, selling the idea that peace will come about when the world comes together under a single government that has a single economy. The political focus will be created to hide the true underlying issue, not one of religion or one religion or another, but of the worship of God or the worship of Satan. Ireland's history may be a good example of what we should expect to happen in the world. Politics has already become more like a religion than a form of government, in that right now people are separated in such a hateful, unjustified way that they are at odds with each other, and it's currently bordering on becoming physical. I see Americans spending more time trying to prove that someone did something wrong in the past than they are trying to focus on improving the future. I see Europe divided and being taken over by extremists. I see people worldwide losing the ability to communicate face to face and becoming so dependent on the technology, even what I'm doing right now, that they will be easily transformed into a bunch of robots. walking aimlessly about with their faces in their phones and not seeing where they are heading, either physically or spiritually. We are a people composed of individuals in an emotional cocoon, which actually separates us from everyone around us. Without Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, or the media, people don't know how to just talk with each other anymore. In today's world, people are not connected to each other unless that connection is through the airwaves, through our TV, the radio, newscasts, or, the internet. Do you remember what Shaul Paul called the son of perdition? He's called the prince of the air. One last thing for you today. Do you recall what Yeshua said about a house divided against itself? America today is a house divided. Europe today, with this Brexit debate, is a house divided. And the only house not divided in the world is found within the despotic communist countries. And Islam is quickly taking over the free countries of Europe and has already infiltrated our American way of life and government. The religious war prophesied in Revelation is already here, but it just hasn't reared its ugly head yet. It's crouching in the shadows. And when it strikes out, it will not be identified as a religious war, but as a political war. I believe that politics is the seed from which the Antichrist will arise. The battle is, and always has been, spiritual, but it will appear to be political. And now that you know this, you need to be alert. Don't be fooled by political upheavals because it is really the enemy who is behind them. Stay focused on God, strengthen your faith, and prepare for battle by reading the Bible, especially Ephesians 6 and 10 through 17. So thank you for being here. And please don't forget to subscribe. Go in the right-hand margin, you're right, on the website or the icons in the corners here on YouTube. Also, I really desperately need your help to send Bible materials to poor rural Ugandans, that's hard to say, who follow this ministry and are asking me to help them to send Bible materials, prayer shawls, Messianic Bibles, and more, and materials so that they can become more Torah observant. Check out my GoFundMe campaign. Here's the link for it. Check it out, and please give something. Anything will help. It's been going for about 3 weeks now, and we're not getting anywhere near enough money. So please do that. Send it out to people. Help me to help them, and I appreciate it. Also, I look forward to the next time we get together. And until then, I welcome comments as long as you're nice. So, be healthy. Lehitrot. Baruch Hashem.